James from Finn Electrical. We've got Ellis from Finn Electrical.
Hello.
So Ellis is having a go at doing a fuse bar changeover today. So it's his second day with us. So let's have a look. Let's get in here. And this is what we're doing. We're going to swap out this old bad boy. Let's get into this. Right then, so into the job then. So we've got this little bad boy to swap out. As you can tell, space is going to be an issue. So there's not a lot of space going on, is there? So we've got this little section here where we're going to somehow fit a fuse board in, but really it's this kind of section. Now we're going to fit a little fuse board in. So we're going to try and get like a little 8-way main switch RCD or something to fit in there. We're going to have to measure it up, go to the wholesalers and see what we can fit in really. Or worst case, we might have to try and get the fuse board up onto this wall, and then the cable's extended and up and in. So we'll have a look, see what's best option. But yeah, we're going to be swapping this out then. So we'll whip him off then. So we'll turn him off. I'll show you what's inside. So these are the old Wilex breakers then. So in here, it's just a fuse wire then. So the fuse wire melts, and then that's what disconnects your circuit. On your newer houses, you've got like an MCB with a metallic strip that heats up, which warps the breaker, that turns it off. I think it's called a bimetallic strip off the top of my head. There we go, we'll take this off if we can. There we go. Right, so this is inside the fuse board then, the old one. So if you look to the right there then, so the line comes in, comes through, goes to this big piece of copper. In these old fuse boards, there's loads of stuff you can touch and get electrocuted. So if I just put my finger on that, zip, dead. So that's not good, is it? So, yeah, so copper buzz bar goes along the bottom, runs through your fuse then, so I'll show you where these fuses. So that's it there then. So it's basically got a piece of wire essentially, and there's a little screw on the end. So you push your wire through, screw on that end, screw on that end. It's the wire that actually melts. So it's the wire that melts basically when it gets over a certain ampage. So for that was a 5 amp, so you put a 5 amp fuse wire in there, and then it goes over 5 amp, it'll melt and it disconnects your circuit. Because obviously what's a 1 mil might start setting on fire at 12 amp, something like that, 13 amp. So it needs to trip before that. But here we go. So what we're going to do is tally this up then to what the new fuse board's position is going to be. So if we're going to bang that in position 1, we'd tally that 1 and so on. However, it's wired in singles, a lot of this. So a twin and earth, if you tallied up 1 and then pulled it out, you'd see the 1 within the twin and earth, and you'd assume the earth and neutral is position 1. But in this, if it's wired in singles, which basically means you got a single cable for the line and then another cable that's single, you won't know which is which, would you? So we need to tally up the neutrals as well. So this is a bit more complicated, this one, but there's only a few circuits, so it shouldn't be too bad. Right, then we'll get this measured up then. We'll nip off to wholesalers and then we'll see what we can fit in here. We'll see how this does. What a foggy day, isn't it? Got to pick up a little brain boost, a Costa coffee. So what we've gone for? Oh, we've gone for the adaptable box option. I don't know if we even discussed it, but basically we're going to put where the old fuse board is. We're going to get a little plastic adaptable box to go over that, and I'm going to use that as a junction box to extend the cables. So I think there were like 8 cables. So we'll extend those 8 into this fuse board. So we picked this up earlier, got there and thought that's not going to fit. So this is going to have to fit on the adjacent wall to the right, and then where the old fuse board is, we'll put a adaptable box, extend the cables up and into the bottom of this using compression glands. So that's the plan. You up for it, mate?
Yep.
Good lad. Right then, so we're back. So bless her, so it's like an old lady we're doing this for, and that she's going to hospital, and it's been that cold, she's been sleeping on the floor, bless her, just next to that oil radiator. So we've also been asked to quote for some heating for her, so she can be nice and warm, bless her. So yeah, so there's a heating to go in here then, eventually. So we'll just probably get like a Dimplex. Well, we said, right, there's 2 options. You can get like a radiator, electric radiator that's like a real radiator, like a plumb one. It works exactly the same. but you're looking at least 300 quid for the heater, and then like a few spares, like 55 quid on top of that. So you're looking at nearly 400 quid a heater kind of thing. So but yeah, there'll be one to go in here, one to go there, and then one to go on this wall here. But yeah, we said to her, you can go for that, or you can go for cheap and cheerful. So that one, sorry, you can program, you can set the temperature, so she won't have to worry about it, just kicking in and out, and then she'd only press a button on top, like boost, and then she'd be warm. So I think she has it really hot, like 20-30 degrees. She was saying, but it's going to cost a lot of money, I sell them. Or they can go for like a cheap and cheerful £100 jobby, convection heater. You literally just turn it on, and it just heats. There's no kind of temperature control, it just kind of kicks out full whack. But yeah, it'd be like £200 cheaper. So yeah, we'll see what they come back with that one. So fuse boards then. So we're fitting a dual acid fuse board. So just, Alice was about to say, we've got these MCBs which you buy separate, that click in. They're pretty decent boards, to be fair. Is Electrician boards, that's what you call them. And that's it, yeah. So you get the new reg is you're supposed to have something called SPD now. So it's a surge protection device. So what that is this little bad boy here. So basically these are like little cartridges, you can pull them out. They're really tight, but yeah, so when these go red, it means there's been a big surge come in, either a lightning strike or surge come into the property, and it stops all the electrics getting damaged essentially. So it's just something you need to put in now, or the customer has to opt out. So the customer goes, I don't want SPD. But who don't want SPD? You know what I mean? It saves you electrics. So if you've got like solar panels and electric cars, imagine that just getting a surge come in or a lightning strike, and you got tens of thousands of pounds of stuff just blown up for the cost of like, I think it's like 40 quid extra on a fuse board or something, I don't know. But there we go, this is one we're fitting then. So we'll have to slide these over. There'll be 5 MCBs going in here. I think it's a 5 and 5, I think, off the top of my head. But there we go, that's what we're doing. That sort of drills out, and then we've got this little sliding drawer for all those bits for solar, compression glands. Let's have a look then. So I think what we'll need a 25 for the 6mm, and not rest will be just 20s. So we'll have to have a look. 32s there, got some 20s here. Try to keep them all the same colour really. So we can bang them at fuse board maybe. I think we've got a fuse board gland here somewhere as well. So that basically allows the 60mm tails to come through one hole with the earth as well. So right, let's get these out. Look at that. Can you see my breath? I don't know if you can on this, but it's there. But yeah, I feel sorry for that last flip, innit? Poor lady. So she's been freezing. And it's not even like, well, it's like -2 today, but this winter it's been really Baltic, as people say. It's been really cold. What's Alice doing? For some reason this doesn't work. Oh, so fuses right, obviously. He's plugged it in. We haven't got fuses in. Oh well. But yeah, she's been freezing here. It's been a cold winter, hasn't it? So feel sorry for her, really, just sat in damp and cold and that, bless her. But hopefully we can improve things. So a good thing about NHS is you go into hospital, if you're old and that, they'll come out to your house, give it a visit and that, and if it's not up to like living conditions, they'll make you have to improve it before they'll let you out, which is good for her because she's been not living in good conditions. So she'll have a nice heated area, nice heated home and that, hopefully. If they go with us, it'd be lovely and toasty. Right then, are you up for the challenge?
I'm indeed.
Good lad. Right, we've got his torch. Obviously power's not on at the moment, is it? So we'll have to find a battery from somewhere. So one of these will do. We'll get it nice and bright in here. Bang it on there. That's it. Look at that. Right, lovely and bright in here now. So we can see. So the new plan is then, what we're going to do is, so I have to kill power obviously, so we'll have to get the magical DNR fairies to chop that. obviously we're going to tally everything up, so we're tallying up the lines, tallying up the neutrals, and then what we'll do is put the adapter box over that, so the cables come rear entry. We'll have to extend each cable with probably compression glands coming out of the bottom, probably up into his new board. There'll be compression glands coming into the bottom of the board, and then it'll just wire into his breakers as normal then. So you will see a little fuse board there, and you'll see your little adaptable box there, and then we'll have to do something with the tails then. So again, we might have to do some magic to make that happen. Right, so before we do anything, what we want to do is put a load on the circuit. So we've got lights on, we're going to plug some things into the sockets. So what we want to do, if it's singles, you're going to have one line in one fuse holder, and a neutral in another fuse holder. If it's wide in singles, you don't know which is which, and we want to make sure we get the right neutral to the right line so it goes in the right breaker. So to do that, we're going to put a resistance on, i.e. turn the lights on. And then when we're testing, we can get the tester out, line to neutral, we'll get a resistance reading of like, don't know, 10 ohms or 20 ohms or something like that. That'll be the resistance of the circuit. And if you go line to anything else that's not part of that circuit, you won't get a reading, will you? So the fact that we're getting a reading tells you that you found the right neutral. So a little tip for you there. Right, so we're just going to turn these on. Oh. Like it nice. 50 shades of pink, lovely. There we go. This one, and then this one, so straight away. Oh my god. It's one of them old heel lights, nightmare. So there might not be an earth to these lights, and these are metal fittings, so that could be an issue later. Same again, metal fittings. Big bass metal fitted, so it could be. I'm hoping there's an earth lights and we don't have to mess about with them. But it could be that we have to swap those out. So obviously when we swap it over, we've got to test it all, make sure everything's up to code. That's American code. Everything's up to British standards. There we go. Within reason. So there's nothing in here electrically. No. Yeah then. So now we've got loads on the circuits. We can disconnect the line and then find the neutral and then tally up the same number so they go in the right bit. There we go. Right then, let's go. Yeah, so I was telling Alice about how Hayden somehow managed to how do I describe this? So we're working down London somewhere, and there was like a big head like that, so like a big three-phase coming in. And for some reason, the cables come out the top of the head, so L1, L2, L3, but there's supposed to be like these caps that go in. That stops you putting your fingers in, or cables or whatever. So he was stripping an armoured cable, and this armoured braiding, it slipped off, it fell down, and it was a long piece, you're talking like a good metre, and it landed in that hole. Literally, it was like a 1 in a million chance, and it landed in the hole, so one of the phases, and then there was like a big metal railing, and every time it touched on there, it'd go bah, 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 and it was doing that, and he come running around, and he goes, James, this thing's banging out, this braiding's banging on the thing. Oh, cracky! So I had to just grab it like that with some grips and just go like and whip it away, and it would go and crackling. It was awful. Yeah. There we go. So we're showing Ellis how to do this. So obviously it's singles, so to get the right, there were like 3 neutrals in one, which we didn't know which was which, so we basically tested continuity between one of the neutrals to here, to one of the lines, and we pressed it, and we're getting like 8 ohms, so that is the circuit's resistance, is 8.37 ohms. We've always spent them. But yeah, so that's how you do it, so we know that that's for that, so we've just tallied that up 8, and that's tallied 8. And then we can move on to the other cables then. But once it's all tallied, we can pull it out and then we know exactly what those do by the circuit labels there. Time for the CK hammer. So when bolts are gone there, you want to get your hammer just behind there in the middle. Yeah. Go and take it. So get the claw behind the fuse board. That's it, pull away. That's it, you don't have to go mad. That's it, and then go towards the screw now, behind it. The idea is to get that behind the screw. Get behind that screw and give it a good behind. That's it. Well, look at this. It turns out the doorbell had a light switch. Nice. Right then, so we're going to use this adaptable box to extend those cables. It's labelled up nicely. Well done, lad. So what we're going to do is just chop the back out of this. So he's going to have to go with the multi-tool for the first time. Have you used a multi-tool before?
Never.
Right, hold this then. You have to be really quick so the video's not boring. Right, quick crash, a quick crash course. So bang out floor. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to turn it on. It's going to be loud. And then what we're going to do is just go like that. Zip it along here, zip it along there, zip it along there. It will just melt through. And then all you do is just get one edge in on a slight angle. Hold it still, it'll melt through. And then on that angle, you just move it along. Use that. Right, have a go then. Nice and quick. Oh. Well done, laddie. There we go, little pelican nose. Right, not you, the cone cutter. Right, so we're going to extend those then. So we've cut the back out like this now. So he's going to drill 4 holes in the bottom of here, or we might go 3 bigger holes actually. Looking at this, because it'll look nicer, won't it? So we're not going to get a lock ring in here, are we? If we went 4, that's going to clash with it. We'd have to cut that little section out. We could put 4 in and then cut this little section out. What do you think?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll do that then. Right, he's changed my mind. Right, we'll do that then and we'll see how it turns out. Very nice job, so just cut that out. So we're going to just cut these little slits just so we can get I said they'd clash, wouldn't they? So just so we can get the lock nut on. There we go, he's got his cables in, ready to extend. So that's the right amount of cables to what's here. So we'll extend those. Again, the lighting doesn't have an earth if you look. So it's not looking good, is it? But what we'll do is just get it connected up. Obviously there's no earth to the lights that we can see. It could be that they've just tapped off the sockets or something, but we'll get onto that when we test. So next job is just to literally just strip these, attach cable to cable, and then when these cables go into the new fuse board, we'll get them into those right positions, tallied up by these. Now we go a little further on then. So we've still got them connections to do, but we've got all them cables run. We'll get a few cleats in here, just tacked nicely. It should look nice, neat and sweet, as best we can get it really. Compression glands in the bottom. We're going to put a little blank there, and then we've got the main cables coming. So there'll be 2 16mm tails into line of neutral, and then the earth into here. And then I'm just going to get a couple of bondings out here to the water and gas, and then that'll be this little project done. So well done, lads. Right then, so what we're dealing with. Thought I'd just have a look. We've got line, well, wide in the wrong one. That's right, body jobs in there. And then you got the neutrals here, which are wired into the brown. So that's been wired on anyway. But yeah, there's no earth to these lights, and there's no earth coming out the fuse board. So if you look over here, we've got other issues, stuff like that. So that could cut into that metal part of it, and that could come live. There's no earth, so that could be a big issue. Little electric shock there. Thankfully, all the switches are plastic, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, look, metal fittings, and there's no earth to any of them. We're going to go around with Wonder lead and just literally clamp on the fuse board and Wonder lead, which is basically you got a big long lead onto the fuse board, and you just walk around and test from the earth bar to the light fitting any metal parts, and you should be getting a resistance reading, like a nice low one. If you don't, it means it's not earth. So well, that light there, that light there. We've got a metal light fitting here. Again, it's not class 2. But for that full base is metal, so that's gonna need swapping for a plastic one. So bless her, she's not gonna like that. You know what I mean? She's got these nice light fittings. But yeah, we would literally have to just rewire the lights. It's gonna be quite costly for her to keep those lights. And look at that monstrosity. My goodness. So verdict for this job straight away is either lighting rewire or swapping all the metal accessories on the lighting circuit to plastic, and then that'll sort that out. So what I'm going to do, I've just connected up the ring. So I've took the line in and connected the earth out, and the earth into the line out. And then we're just going to do, we've already done end to end. We've got like 0.22, 0.23, then 0.30 for the earth. So That was end to end. Sockets are wide in a loop, so from the fuse board all the way around the back. So it's 3 cables on this end, 3 cables on this end. So you do an end to end, which we've just done, and it's a ring. And now we've done the crossover, and we're going to do the R1, R2 test to measure the circuit's resistance for line and earth. Right, we'll test the cooker next then. So if we just have a look behind it. Lovely. So I'm just going to check that. So it's got this cable. Ugh, disgusting, isn't it? There's no cause hanging out of that junction box. Well, that's basically connecting it up. Ugh, been dirty that. Well, look at this. You can't see the screws, so you can't even take this off. And it's all been plastered in. So if we pop this off, it's just going to go. And then she's going to have a big hole in a wall. But yeah, it's not that good. So we'll give it a test anyway. So let's plug it in. So we'll plug it into there. We've got it on continuity. I've got 0.54, so that's nice and lowish. So you'd expect 0.05 to be fair here, but I think the connections in the socket aren't that good. But if we bang it on 32 amp, it's going to pass within the 1.1 tolerance of the maximum ZS for that breaker. There we go. So look, insulation resistance later, but we've just banged it on now. We're getting greater than 200 mega ohm. We'll bang up to 500, give it a test again. So we'll have to test on double. Yeah, greater than 500. So that's between line and earth. So it looks like that cable should be good. Again, we'll test neutral to earth. This test doesn't allow you to change the leads over with this socket attachment. So we'll have to get that tested when we're back at the fuse board. So like I said, we've connected up for the socket. So what we're going to do now, bang it on continuity. It's going to test between live and earth. And then Ellie is going to go around all the sockets, like over there, and get a reading. So over there you go. So unplug stuff, make sure everything's unplugged on the way, and then when we do the insulation resistance test, we've disconnected all the loads at the same time. And that's got 0.18. Next one, nice and quick down here. So again, we're just going to unplug this. Get it down there. There you go. Let's see what we get. I'm sure it's 2. 0.28, keep going down. What's this? 1 point, well, it said 1.92 a minute ago. So yeah, we're getting like a bad reading on that. So that could be just loose connections, or I don't know. It's just loose connections most likely. But we got a ring. So it's strange. So this could be just spurred off, but we'll have to investigate into that because that's going to land way above tolerance. There we go. We're getting a 2000. Right, so it's either got no earth or it's on a different circuit. And 2000 again. Getting a 2000 again. If you can hear that. And that's it for this room. Like that, the old houses, they only have 1 socket per room, so there's not much to look at, but what you can see is not very good. So yeah, so that they're greater than 2000. See, there's got no earth, or it's on the other circuit, that radial. There we go. I've just got a reading 0.69, so we've connected up the radial and that's come on. So next one. There we go. So he's done a lovely job of this then. So he's got all his neutrals in there, his earths, his bondings, his main earth in, and he's got 16mm tails there, so they're nice and tight. He's got his surge protection in, and then he's got all his bus bar in his bus bar cover. That's looking nice. All his cables are nice little glanded in the bottom with his tails, and that is one complete fuse board. And then this is his little adaptable box. So again, all the cables just come out and then bridge up into here nicely. So the only way to get the cables over here is to do this little bridge section over here. All them are tied in with that clamp there then. So it's not too bad then. They're all anchored. Yeah, it's about as good as you're going to get it really when you've got to do something like this. Yeah, everything's labelled up nicely then. So we've got his next tester, RCD, and then we've got his labels here then. So lights, alarm. We've got sockets, cooker. So that's it. We've also got your SPD on the end. So that will basically, any surges that come in, it'll take that, it'll kind of dampen that kind of surge come in and protect any electrical goods. So like I said earlier, if you've got any like solar panels or what else, EV car, so you could have a 30 grand Tesla sat on drive, and if you get a big surge it could just blow it all up, so that's not what you want. So you need that surge protection in. There we go. Right then, so if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we next upload. It's always a good from me, and I'll see you on the next one. Well done, Alice.
Cheers.